Hey folks, JD here, and today we are looking at this little beast. This is the UDI U28W Peregrine. I'm really quite happy to be flying this, to be honest, because I've often wondered, well, I've been wondering throughout the week since I did the unboxing, what this little drone is going to be like. He's got a 720p wide-angle camera. He's got such a small little form factor, but at the same time he looks really aerodynamic and looks like he's going to perform really well. So, just before we look at the flight, I've got one thing to clear up with the remote, with the transmitter rather. And that is that these two buttons at the back in the unboxing I said would probably be photo and video. I got that wrong. This is for headless mode, and this one here is for emergency emergency stop, landing and takeoff. So what I've done so far is just attached my phone opened up the Flying C app, which is UDI's app, and I'm going to record some video here while I fly from the transmitter. You can fly from the phone if you prefer. I don't. I prefer to fly from the transmitter. So with that, let's take off. Alright, so one of the very fiddly bits about this is the battery compartment. There's not a lot of place to move around here. So when I connect the battery, I believe the drone will just turn itself on, because there is no physical button. Yep, there we go. So, no on button, no off button. So you've got the front LEDs are green, the back LEDs are red, and they are very bright. So, let's take off. Okay, so now we're bound to the quadcopter. As soon as you turn it on, you're going to hear this. Once you bind up and down, you're going to hear 3 beeps. Da, da, da. That just lets you know you're bound with the quadcopter. Nice little telemetry screen here. So you've got your battery of the transmitter, range of signal as well, and it's on medium mode, so I'm guessing that would just be standard flight. So with this push of this little button, we should take off to an altitude. There we go. So this copter does have altitude hold. It is, it's really quite nice. It's really quite nice. It's a little bit unresponsive from the transmitter. I find that when I try to turn it, it's almost as if it tries to... Oh, wow, this thing is quick. Well, he isn't very responsive at all from the transmitter. I'm finding it quite a job to control this little dude. He is really taking a lot of concentration. Is this guy. I thought this guy would be really quite nice. I mean, most of the UDI copters, or I think all the UDI copters we've looked at, have in some way or form been really quite nice. And I was hoping that this guy was going to be exactly the same. This geezer is quite the handful. He is quite... The more I'm flying him, the more I'm finding that he is actually quite responsive. But there just seems to be something that's just not quite right. I mean, normally flying, he flies really quite well, as you can see. Also, I would say mind the propellers, because they don't half give you a nick when they go round. I mean, this guy just seems a little bit too crazy for words. He doesn't seem to have the control that you have with some nanocopters. He doesn't seem to have... He just seems to, as soon as you try to turn him and go in any direction, he just basically seems to wallow a lot and increase the range between you and where you're trying to fly. So if you're trying to go forward, and then if you turn him round, he will keep on dipping forward at quite a range, at quite a speed, and therefore will most definitely end up crashing. I mean, I'm not even pushing forward there. So if I just turn him round, and then if I just start him off on a trajectory, then he ends up going there himself. So let me give you an example. So if I just turn him round, set him up to a height, set him so that he's pretty much standstill like that, and then if I just push forward and let go, he keeps on going. See? He just keeps on going, which can be very dangerous indeed. I mean, when I started flying this guy, he was on medium speed. I've since had to turn him down to low, just because of him moving. See? And it's not as if it's a kind of movement that requires trim. This is just him flying. This is just what he does. I mean, he's also, as altitude hold non-GPS quadcopters go, I mean, you know, he is pretty stable. He's just an erratic bag of nerves whenever you try and fly him. So I tried adding little bits of trim just to see if that makes any difference. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. He is still as crazy. He's just gone off on his own. He's just gone off on his own. Now, I think him pulling to one side was his way of saying he's got no battery. That's it. Battery's dead. So let me just try and see whether I can turn him off and back on again and see whether we get anywhere there. But from the erratic nature of the beeps from the transmitter, I would say it sounds like the battery's dead. Let's just try anyway. Let's just be on the safe side. I don't want to think I'm missing out on any flight time. Auto takeoff. Nothing. Let's try rebinding him. Nothing again. Nothing. Fine. He seems to be having issues staying connected to the transmitter. This signal bar here keeps on fluctuating quite highly. So, I mean, we just saw him take himself off into the woods. So I'm a little bit wary now of this guy. So, let's just take him round. Now we've got a low battery warning. I mean, all in all, he does seem to be quite crazy. No, that's the battery, guys. He's completely gone. Can't even take off. So, let's turn off the transmitter. Well, I feel quite disappointed. I was hoping this guy was going to be a lot better. I mean, the past few quadcopters we've flown from UDI have been really good. So I suppose it's probably about time that we had one that wasn't, and this guy is really not great. He is so unsteady. He kept on disconnecting from the transmitter. He wouldn't, even though he would fly true, you could just increase the throttle, let it go, and he would carry on flying. Even with trim added, that didn't stop anything. I believe that is just how this guy is programmed to fly. Which again is quite a big negative point on, I believe so, because I like to have full control of the quadcopter that I'm flying. I don't want it to fly itself. If I did, then I'd take my Phantom out. But I think on the whole, yeah, I'm quite disappointed with this guy. I might take him back out again in the near future. I mean, even after I recalibrated him, I turned off the controller, recalibrated him, and turned it back on, bound to him again, and he still didn't make any difference to him. Plus, this guy's cut my hand. But yeah, you know, I think on the whole, I'm going to say for now that this guy wasn't great. He's probably going to be one of the lowest marked quadcopters that I've done, and I think out of almost 100 videos, that's not too bad. You win some, you lose some. Well then, folks, thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and hello to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.